Hello. In this lesson, we will learn more of the list functions. They are as follows: list, cons, ent, and for each functions. Let's start with the list function. So basically, this just creates a list. This is the syntax, list, and the expression. So let's say we wanted to make a list out of these three numbers. So we just issue the list command or list function, and it should return list of 1, 2, 3. Same thing with the second example here. We have a series of character strings. Then we issue a list function, and it gave us the list of ABC. This example, we have a list of 3 lists. So if we issue the list command, it gives us the list of these individual list items here. The next function is the cons. This function adds an element to the beginning of a list or construct a dotted list, a dotted pair. So this is the syntax. Cons A5 gives us the A.5. This is the dotted pair. These are basically an atom or just an single object. If we issue a cons of 7 and 9, it gives us 7.9. These are all dotted lists or dotted pair. If we have a list, an existing list, and we issue a cons function with a new character, for example, it adds to the beginning of the list. In this case, we have BCD and it adds the A. So this function adds an element to the beginning of a list. So that's about for the cons. Next, the ent function. This function returns the nth item in a list. 0 is the first item in the list. So here's our syntax: nth, the n, the index, and the list. So index value starts as 0. So in this example, if we issue the nth3 of this list, it means we will get the 4th item because the list starts with 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. So it should give us the D. The next example is we have a list of numbers and we issue the nth 0. So this is the first element, 0, which is 1. The next function is for each function. This function steps through and evaluates expressions for all members of a list and returns the last value. So this is the syntax: for each, the name, and then the list. So here's our first example. For each n, or you can use any variable here. For each n and then the list. So in this case, we process this list and this is what we do. So in every iteration of the list, we print the element in the list. So in this case, the first iteration, it prints the A. Second iteration, it prints the B, and so on. Same is true with this second example. We have a series of list of numbers, and basically we loop through each. So for each of these items in the list, do this. So in this case, we are just printing each of the element in the list. So it gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's about for these functions. There are a few more list functions and we will discuss them in the next video. I'll see you there.